Here.
Thanks.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a little unboxing of things that we want to try that we haven't tried before. And also some small bait showcase stuff.
It's definitely not a little, big unboxing. So one of the things we talked about through this whole year for us, this is going to be, at least for me, and maybe a little bit Jeff, it's going to be kind of the year of the body bait / crankbait. So
yes,
we dumped a bunch of stuff from our prior tackle boxes, we found ourselves like dug into like 1 or 2 brands. So we want to broaden the horizons. So we were trying out a whole bunch of brands that honestly, in this case, I'd never even heard of. And I was shocked when I found out who actually owns this bait company. So we're going to get into that on the body baits. We also have one of our like small manufacturers make some really cool jigs that we've been huge friends of. Send us some more. We're gonna check those out. And then we've got a company that we have showcased in the past we're gonna do again because they just bang and they send us some cool stuff.
And it's all coming up right now. So you might wanna subscribe, smash that like, ring that notification bell, and then come back on Wednesdays when we go live. Cause you might, I don't know, schwinn some of this stuff in a schmiv-away.
Or you
can't say any of those.
You can't see any of the words. Basically, if you come to our lives at Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have people from all over the fishing industry. We also, as aggressively average anglers, being that that's what we are, we're always trying to learn more. So we're doing our research, we're testing out new things, and we're learning together. And at the end of learning together and having some fun, we also do schmiv-aways.
We might be like, here.
Would you like to have this? I'll send it to you for $0 if you're fortunate.
But only if you show up and participate. All
Gotta be there.
Well, let's get into it. So we've got 4 or 5 different companies here.
At least.
I say we start out with this mysterious USPS bag. Okay.
It's hard to say which one's my favorite.
Hold your hoodie like this real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
No! There's scent in there!
All right.
Well, I guess I'll just be standing here like this for a while. No!
Vanna!
Oh, no!
It's on the floor!
There's a hook. So another one of the things that we are doing this year, we are messing around with some, you get that. We're messing around with some scent.
Oh, you know I love me some bubble wrap.
So I've shown a couple of the scents we were planning on messing with this year. Are you done? We picked some really We picked really popular bait companies. So we've got the Bait Fuel, we've got the old Power Bait, we've got some lesser knowns as well, but we got the Dip and Glow, which everybody loves, I'm probably sure. Got the old, we got the Pro Cure. These are super popular. Can you focus, please? Can I get out of here? Put this in front of you. We got the Pro Cure, and then we got the JB's Fish Sauce. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff too, but those are the big ones. And then our friends over at dude, oh, you are bold.
It's sealed.
Still, our friends over at Z-Baco actually hooked us up with some of their scent. We talked to them about this before. They gave us the earthworm, but what's it called? Stank sauce? What is it?
No, that's a different one. It's the bass syrup.
The bass syrup. Let me get out of here. That's probably
some good bass syrup.
That's probably a better thumbnail than what we recorded. So we're gonna add this to the mix, and I plan on doing it for ice season. We don't have ice, which is why we're not fishing today, because there's enough ice so where I can't go fishing, but not enough ice for me to stand on. It's like the worst possible thing in the world. So
I feel like you just created a biohazard on your desk.
I did.
That's a weapon of mass destruction.
But we certainly didn't stop there. We had an order of our own, which included
some terminal stuff, like the Super Swing.
This is one of I think the coolest things that I've encountered in kind of a while. But it was new for me in the last couple of years. You're making this hard. So you basically got a football jig here at the bottom, loosely attached to this EWG hook. You can certainly rig this with a lot of different creature baits, but really there's no wrong way to do it. What I really like about these is you'll see the recessed line tie right there, and you've got the flat bottom. So stand-up football jig, basically a naked jig, swinging hook. Really cool presentation, great for cross and flipping, and I'm really excited to throw these out.
We also got these, which are little Nico weights that have a screw lock feature on them, which is really cool. So if you guys are using just like nail weights, for example, you just shove it on in there. What this does is it creates kind of an additional surface that you can work with. That's gonna add more contact, make more sound. Really cool, and they stay in the worm, which you can't really ask much more than that.
Yep.
Because it's gonna protect the front end of it,
which is really nice. The other thing too is when you get that much contact on the bottom, I love those Woo Tungsten fishing as a contact sport, right?
Yeah.
Because the idea is that you're making contact. When you get that hard bottom contact, instead of the nails that go all the way through, and it's like the plastic itself is hitting the bottom, you can't actually feel the contact nearly as much. So with these, where that weight is hitting the bottom, it's a lot more like a Texas rig or a Ned rig, where I can actually get the sensitivity to feel what's going on the bottom. Plus, like Jeff said, the sound and everything else It's just, I think these are better in a lot of instances. When you get more finessey, sure, you can go light, but these are great. Got them in 2 sizes. You already go through that?
1/8 and 1/16 ounce.
Perfect sizes for my finesse fishing favorites. So yeah, can't wait to, oh, and they have painted ones. These ones are the unpainted. They were out of the painted ones, which kind of sucks, but I have a bunch of those already. So
eventually we'll grab those.
Restock.
More. Then we got something really cool. This is a limited edition color of one of our favorite shaky head baits of all time. This is the Bamboo Bomber. So this is fantastic.
This is like one of my favorite baits of all time. One of my favorite plastics.
First of all, juiced up with that bass syrup. All right. Anyways, so you got a little flat side on the back here. You get the ribbed body going all the way down, and then you get like just this long appendage section here and a tail that you can split if you want to, but I won't right now because these are Paul's problems. Anyways, but you can split that if you want to, giving you added action, but it's just that big flipping, flapping thing out there that's going to give you a ton of action. These are great. You know, not super long either. You know, it's just a 5-inch bait, but slap this baby on a shaky head, Nico weight it, do all sorts of cool stuff with it.
Put it on the old football jig.
You know, literally
anything.
Endless options.
These are great trailers, and you can see the segmented body. You can bite those down. This makes wonderful jig trailers because it does.
Take a bite.
No. This makes wonderful jig trailers. The nice thing about them is you can take out those segments as needed. And because they're not so fat in the back, they just add a nice little bit of extra juice to your jig. So that goes for bladed jigs. These are great bladed jig trailers, but also just like a standard skirted jig too. So these things bang. I have them in every color they make. The color is Black Widow. It's limited edition. That actually is what spurned this whole order. I was like, I have to have those. And so order placed. We did get some bonus features, so this was part of the order. I don't even think this was part of the order. I think these got thrown in. This color is called Goby Magic, but this is their Javelin, and the Javelin Ned, and it is an awesome Ned rig bait.
Check this out.
So this color is their Goby Magic color, and it is just like the perfect Lake St. Clair freshwater lake smallmouth color. It's one of my absolute favorites. I have this in the twig. I have this in like every other bait that I can get my hands on it in, and this one is just outstanding.
Beautiful. You want to know what's cooler than that though?
Yes, I do.
Too bad.
Too bad.
Check this out. So we've got just like this watermelon color. But wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Pow. Look at that. That's like chartreuse tip.
But it's also glowing.
Tracer round, and it glows. How absurd is that? That's really cool. So you're getting a ton of action from this bait, and you're getting that freaking crazy thing on the end there.
Also, another thing I always like to mention about Z-Bait Co., if you can return the packaging to them and they will recycle it for you, they make really heavy duty packaging, but it's recyclable. I love the idea of that. I think it's super important. They also donate a portion of all the proceeds that you buy for each one of these bags. I just think it's a wonderful thing, and it's a company that I know tries really hard. We had them on the BurlyFishing podcast. We'll have to get them on the Aggressively Average Angler podcast too. Wonderful people making really unique baits, so we love to see it.
Second to last up, we got a craw.
I am embarrassed to say that I have not tried this bait. This is probably one of the favorites from Z-Bait Co. This is the Armacra. I got this one in green, pumpkin, black, and blue, which is a killer color. Just a really, really solid looking craw, and kind of a must-have, honestly. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is probably going to be one of the few craws that I carry with me throughout the year. I told myself I was going to slim down the yak this year. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out, okay, like if I can only carry 3 craws, this is probably gonna be one of them.
And I'm gonna fatten my yak up. That's what I tell myself.
So I will carry every craw that I've ever seen.
Check this out. So you can split the antennae there. Look at that. That's gonna give you an insane amount of action. It's got this nice chunky bottom section here so that you can rig that up however you want. I mean, I could throw this on a pretty hefty Ned.
Anything that you do, there's
so much to do here.
There's no bad way to do it.
So many activities.
And the one thing about Z-Bait Co. is, you know, when you start to understand the way that they run their processes, they do these big batch runs, but they do custom colors, and they do an amazing breadth of types of colors. They just do an unbelievable job. The last bait is the X swimmer. So this is one of the types of baits that I have found that I've wanted to have more of. You're not getting that.
I just have my hand out. I'm just straight up getting ignored.
And this is one of the types of baits I feel like I want a little more exposure to. So this is kind of like a lot of the swimmers that you've seen, but the rib body is wonderful. The color is what really got me, and they have a lot of different ones. Their white is amazing. It has just the right amount of, it's not like opaque, it's very opaque. It's just really, really cool. But just, this is a solid generic, like get it all done all day, every day. Spinner bait, underspin. They actually make their own underspin. I have them right down here. They're called like the X swimmer or swimmer. I don't even remember what it is, but they're X blades, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
But you can just, there's no wrong way to rig these up. They work for everything. You can even Texas rig these, underweight belly, it doesn't matter. So awesome swimming bait, and plan on catching a whole heck ton with these.
You won't. I will.
Somebody will.
That's it for Z-Bait Co. We're going to move on to some other stuff, but you should definitely check them out.
All right, so I placed an order based on a company you're going to see here in a second, a little bit of exploration, but I also picked up some of my favorites. So this is the Fritside from Berkeley, and this bluegill color is just so fantastic. You see the blue on the face there? Like we get a lot of bluegill with that coloring here in Michigan, and then the chartreuse just means for me, dark to like semi-muddy water. This one is the 7, so it's like a medium diver. I find myself with a lot of Berkeley baits, love the medium divers. Yep. It's like the digger, the flicker shad, that 6 to 7 foot range, I think they are like kind of kings in. They do a great job, so.
Look at that
coffin,
lip. Yeah, coffin lips are freaking cool. So that's gonna be awesome. Unique action, flat sides are great for that cold water too.
And then 13 Fishing, I think, does a phenomenal job with their body baits. Standard-ish square bill. This is the Warthog 70. Awesome medium diver. The color is what really got me here, and then just a little bit of a refill, right? I like having a bunch of these. Again, 13 Fishing, I think they make really high quality baits, but also really fishable baits. So this was a no-brainer for me on that color too. It's just sort of that blue craw. This is screaming springtime for me.
And it's a brand that we're stocking up a little bit on this year just to really experiment with. So there will be a lot of their different baits that we'll be using that you guys will see. Tell me what you found.
This was the genesis of this order. So when Jeff and I did the shopping video, when we were sort of, again, exploring into the baits, the new brands of baits for crankbaits, we kept seeing this come up over and over, Evergreen. And I was like, I've never heard of them. There's a whole bunch of them out there, but like I've never even heard of them. And then I bought a bunch of them. They're kind of expensive, but I was like, screw it. They've all got good reviews. They look fancy. Let's give it a shot. And then I saw this on the back, distributed by Daiwa, and I just got the Macbeth, which is from Shimano. And then I'm like, okay, well, I went one direction. Let's go hard the other direction. So I basically bought one of everything that they make to give them all a shot.
So let's look at this one first, because I really like that. Flat Force. Join the Flat Force. What the heck is that? All right, anyways. So this first one I grabbed is that circuit board flat side. So we got rounded circuit board, kind of a square bill size. And yeah, look at the paint job on this though. That splatter pattern. So like a green cross, splatter pattern, orange belly. Really freaking cool, man. 4 to 5 foot diver, and it's 3/7 of an ounce, so it's under half an ounce. And silent, eh?
Yeah, so it's silent. So there are steel and tungsten ball bearings in there.
Yeah.
And that keeps, obviously they're fixed inside there, so it keeps it silent, but it lets you cast really well too.
So really good weight for casting. Awesome. So that's the first one. Check that out.
And the circuit board and the paint job were really what drew me in. Also the flat-sided. So it mimics a lot of the baits that I've been a huge fan of for a long time. Sort of a chick magnet, for example, but wanted to try this version of it.
Ooh, wide lip. Check this one out. So what is this one called? Wow. SH3. Really, 3.
The
3. So we got a square bill here. It's actually got like the non-nickel trebles. Very loud.
Kind of like a one knock.
So like really kind of light wire actually. Like,
oversized.
Yeah, oversized but light wire, like very light hooks here, but are very sharp. I mean, right out of the box. We might swap them out. You know, we just did some terminal, so we got a whole bunch of terminal kind of sitting around.
You're gonna see another video on some BKK hooks that I did, and we'll do some upgrades here later.
Check out the lip on this bad boy though. Whoa! Freaking insane. It's a snow shovel.
So this one's 11/16 ounce, so a little over half an ounce.
Pretty hefty.
And 2 to 3 foot diver, so it's not diving down very deep. Hence probably the lighter weight hooks.
Yeah.
That paint job I couldn't walk away from, though. It's so good. Little
Really
splashes
cool.
of red. Love that paint job.
Yeah. All right, I'm faster than Paul. So the next one up is the FA115. It's a 115 millimeter jerkbait.
The big boy.
Big. Not as heavy as I thought it was going to be, though. 5/8. I was kind of looking at this thing going, that's an ounce. It's not quite. 5/8 of an ounce. And what color is this? It's like a wounded minnow kind of color.
Alewife.
The alewife. There you go. The ill wife.
No.
No! Honey, stay with me. Anyways, got like this red section up here. Otherwise, super flashy, slightly translucent. You can kind of see through it. Really like cool looking jerkbait, and obviously a bit of a deeper diver. You got that big lip on there.
It's 3 to 7
as well.
Yep.
So 3 to 7 foot diver, you can run this baby down if you want to. Otherwise, I know this spring we're going to be using a ton of jerkbaits. This will be a really cool one to compare to the other ones we just picked up.
And an upsize for me, so that was the other thing that really drew me, was a larger size bait. And then we've got the CH1. So this is the extreme shallow version. This will be my river favorite for summer, and so you can see, since it's black and blue, that is going to be a killer when we see that darker stained water, so post rain. You're also going to see we got some EWG wide gap style hooks, again pretty light, and then we got the circuit board front with that little baby finesse, again keeping it running really shallow lip. Super excited for this one. I love those finesse crankbaits. They don't make a ton of them that run that are this size, that run that shallow. I had a couple that I don't have anymore, been a huge fan of, so this is going to replace one of my favorites, and in a cool color. So the Fritz side was $10.99, not cheap at all. 13 Fishing Warthog was $6.99. The SH3 was 17 bucks. The Black and Blue Craw was 17 bucks.
Yeesh.
Yep. The Flat Force Craw was 13 bucks, and the jerkbait was another $16.99. So again, this was
expensive.
These are not cheap, but again, a lot of times it's really good to understand what's worth it and what's not. So for me, like the 13 Fishing jerkbaits, well, a lot of jerkbaits in general, right? A lot of your mega bass baits, they're a lot more expensive, but I have found that there are some that I'm like, I'm willing to spend the extra $4 or 20% or whatever it ends up being more for a bait that I'm just going to basically live off of. So this is a total trial run. If this doesn't work out, you may never, catch me spending $17 on a crankbait again. Or if they're absolute bangers, maybe I'll be able to tell you, go get one of those instead of 2 of one of the other ones. I mean, still $10.99 versus $16.99. That's a huge departure. So if you just love the Fritz side, you can say, go with my Berkeley's all day, or maybe find out the Evergreens are the ones for you. We'll see.
So last one we're going to showcase here. We've got kind of a smaller, not even you called it a manufacturer.
Yeah, I think manufacturer is being
we got
not generous, but that's a little overdoing it.
Yeah, an army of one guy kind of doing his own thing, and that is pig jigs. So we're going to be looking at some pig jigs. Look at that friggin' bass pig, whatever that is. And he actually sent us a bunch of stuff that we could do.
That's a giveaway, so you're not wearing that again.
My head is not disgusting.
The fine folk at Pig Jig sent us some stuff, so we're going to do a giveaway. So that hat is going in the giveaway pile. Also in the giveaway pile is, if you've seen us unbox these before, you've seen us catch fish on these before, you've seen us use them. These are EWG, really small size. These ones are 1/8 EWG skirted Ned jigs.
It's easy to say really fast.
So what really turned us on to these was the fact that you get a hand-tied skirt with an EWG hook, so that means you can run these weedless on some of our favorite colors. I believe this one's called the Truce, which is a chartreuse green pumpkin with, if I can get Jeff's face out of here, the copper flake. These are outstanding. Again, we've unboxed them a bunch of times. This is one of our favorites, and again, this is what turned us onto the brand. So we got 2 of these, well, 1 of these going into the giveaway, and then we've also got...
I haven't seen any of these from him yet, so this is a first for me.
One spinnerbait.
I've seen pictures on his page, but I haven't used them, is what I mean. But we've got a hand-tied spinnerbait, so that is hand-tied. And this is like this pink coleslaw-ish color. Instead of the orange for coleslaw, it's pink. I don't know what he calls this color, but it's pretty gosh dang fancy to me. And you got that double, like, hammered Colorado blade.
Which I'm a big fan of.
Cool.
It's a dark water killer.
So that's a big thumping bait right there, and that's going in. I'll put it back in the bag, don't worry.
And then you're also going to get, potentially, this swim jig. So if you get really close, you can see there's a ton of detail painted into the jig head. You get the medium size skirt, And then the colors on this are just insanely good. So we get a lot of blue. This actually does mimic a lot of really cool bluegill, and there's really no wrong color trailer for this bait. So super versatile swim jig, just really well done. And it's 3 ounce, which is, that's like my go-to. If I need something, that's what I'm grabbing. All
right, so the real reason that we're showcasing these is because our boy over at Pig Jigs hit me up and he was like, if you could make a color, what would it be? And I was like, I'm a big fan of green pumpkin blue, and I'm also a huge fan of chartreuse. And I haven't seen them together much at all, if at all. So what we did is we put it together on one of these EWG Ned rigs. So let's check these out. I got them in a couple different weights, so we'll just show you guys the color mainly. So I got a 110 ounce here. It's coming in 110, 1/8, 3/16, and a quarter.
Which is another one of the things I think that was unique to us, is you don't see those sizes in
especially this style
and skirted jigs almost ever.
So first off, up top, you get that spider skirt, right? So nice finessey presentation, skirt coming down. And this is the color we went with. So it's actually like this like fluorescent black and blue on the top coat, and then on the back you're getting this green pumpkin. Rather than going crazy with the chartreuse, we just got the hints. So it's a little hint section of chartreuse up top there. He also always makes his jig heads kind of match the skirt color, so you can see that chartreuse splattering there up to like the green pumpkin blue front section, which is really cool. And then if we flip this over, you guys can see why these are really fun to use and effective. There is your EWG. So I can rig this weedless. I'll show you what we're gonna rig to this in just a second, but what are your thoughts on this?
On that?
Color. Yeah, do you like this color?
I think that
I didn't even involve Paul in this.
My bad, sorry. He's not. He doesn't care.
Not at all.
What I like about that color is it's a really unique way of mimicking what actually does show up in the water quite a bit. So it's like an exaggerated bluegill, and it will pretty much work anywhere. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely different.
What he sent for us to pair up with this is actually like the perfect color combo. So it's that green pumpkin blue with a chartreuse tip katana craw, which you can get from Do It Molds.
Well, you can get the mold from Do It Molds.
You can get the mold. You can't automatically pour it this well. I think he did a great job with it, but check this out. Paired up with our custom color Ned jig. Look at that, baby. Oh my gosh. I'm keeping this rigged. I'm throwing this immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Do you want to do this one too?
It's freaking cool.
I'm going to let Jeff do this one for you guys.
Last up, we have surprise inclusion. I wasn't planning on, but check this out. So you can see the colorway. You're probably trying to guess what the heck this is. I mean, is this Superman ice cream? Is this rainbow? What is it? I'll show you something that it's going to pair up really well with.
A reel.
Look at that. Oh yeah, you need a reel to fish it, but look at the colorway. So color actually matches up perfectly to this. And if you guys don't remember this, or that logo right there, it's a couple things going on. So we've, at this channel, for a long time, been in support of companies like Autism Anglers. Six Gill Cares kind of came out with those reels in support of Autism Anglers as well, which of course is a company that benefits children living with autism and of course their families as well. And what they do really well is they get kids out on the water in a safe environment, and they just help them learn how to fish. It's freaking awesome. They're really cool stuff. Love all the people involved in this. And the fact that he went ahead and he just matched up that color with this custom jig, which is a ball head jig, finesse style. That's something I would fish if I didn't want to immediately
finesse,
put it on a shelf and look at it all the time. But really cool. So a little like autism jig here, man. That was awesome. Just icing on the cake, baby.
So Jeff has to catch PB on that, or he's not allowed to walk around.
Okay. Do we have to ruin the moment?
Yeah, 100%.
You're really good at that.
So that's a heck ton. We've got the new jigs we're going to be trying out, as well as a shmiv-away that you might be able to take advantage of on our live stream. I'm not going to tell you which one because we don't know which one yet, but
it's in the shmiv-away.
So if you want to swim that, if you want to swim what's in that, if you want to swim the shmiv-away?
Swim the shmiv-away.
Then go ahead and join join the live stream Wednesdays 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're there, you could swim.
Heck, YouTube.
For sure. It's so much more difficult.
What a joke.
We also had the Evergreen crankbait unboxing. There's some more to come with that. Really, again, just testing.
Fancy stuff.
A really premium bait, again, distributed by Daiwa, so I thought was really interesting and looking forward to using them. They look good. We'll have to see if they fish good.
When you cast, you have to have your pinky out. Like as you cast.
You have to wear like a beret.
Yes. You got both pinkies out. It's like really weird. Not ideal.
Not what you think. You got to read the packaging fine print very carefully.
Yeah. We bring our snacky poos. It'll be caviar and a very nice,
cracker.
Chianti.
No, I'll bring like an entire baguette. All right.
Anyways.
Enough of that. So thanks for joining the video. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you hit the subscribe button, smash the like, thumb ups button, and ring the notification bell. Do all the other stuff we want you to do, and have yourself a good day.
All right, see you guys on the next one.
Take care now.
Are you okay?
No.
Bye.
Bye then.